Silo the TV show is merely a Fallout vault, but no one gets to leave. Minor spoilers through Season 2 for the Silo Apple show, and minor spoilers for the Fallout games and TV show franchise. Life inside the silo is all anyone knows anymore. Rumors of a toxic, outside world keep everyone in line. Generations have lived and died underground, hoping for a better future. The all-clear siren is a myth, a bedtime story to keep the kids quiet. But some still dream of blue skies, even if it's just a fantasy. The show Silo is, in a sense, a reimagined world of Fallout, through the perspective of inhabitants of a silo, or vault if you will, but the similarities cannot be unseen, and it's done very well. I'll keep it short, but the worlds of Fallout and Silo are so alike that it's easy to jot down these similarities and still be mind-boggled, but the inhabitants are held in Fallout shelters for a short time after the surface world is made irradiated or unfit for life. Fallout utilizes the Fallout shelters, called vaults, as minor set pieces that the characters explore, but are usually in the backdrop of the actual surface level attractions like the towns, the cities, valleys, and caves. There's a whole world to explore for the game characters, or like the TV show characters. On the other hand, Silo delves into the personal lives of Silo inhabitants, or vault dwellers, that only know the Silo. Their surface is off limits, and the authorities keep it that way. Anyone that attempts to reach the surface has a one-way trip, and it's usually as a banishment. The option to clean the camera lens, of course. Silo represents a first-hand experience of lore that we only get from Fallout games through usually mediums of like looking at computers and kind of understanding little tidbits from past entries that we piece together to figure out what the heck happened to these vaults. And other times it's from our first-hand experiences as a playable character trying to get out of the vault and then see the outside world, probably never to return to these vaults. Every playable character has these missions that they mostly dealt with unfettered access to the surface in some vaults. Here in Silo, they aren't going anywhere. Like some vaults of Fallout, this silo has kept its inhabitants trapped below the surface for unknown decades, with the rise and fall of leadership and the quelling of its own population numbers multiple times. If you enjoy the Fallout games, I'd imagine you would enjoy the Fallout TV show, surely, but Silo brings a subterranean dweller experience and perspective. I like to imagine that Silo is just a piece of lore, fiction inside the Fallout canon, with its own tropes and problems that we just never saw in the games. But with the dwellers so far gone from the pre-war era that Vault-Tec and Robco and Nuka-Cola in the United States of America is a distant idea only spoken in secret. As the past in the Silo has been passed down, literally, transformed and forgotten so many times that the date on these calendars is usually fake and arbitrary or started over. No one really knows what time it is, except maybe some sneaky and authoritarian leaders hiding secrets of the Silo's past for their own good, so they think. What makes Silo even more similar to Fallout is its protagonist's dream to reach the surface, to find adventure or find purpose. This has been done in the Fallout show and almost every Fallout game. In fact, that's usually the premise: to get out of the vault, see the world, find your dad or your son, or find this water chip to save the vault, maybe to return and save it there and completely save the day, or even find the man who killed you. And the vaults are just kind of part of the game, not even where you start. These truly are riveting stories of Fallout, and each of these games has their own start that is beloved and cherished by all the fans. Some like the old ones where you start in the vault, some like other ones where you start on the surface as just another person out there trying to find their way. But sometimes the best lore is found in the vaults, akin to the Silo. These vaults were the idea of the United States and the corporation Vault-Tec, a corporation that would have the mantle of being the master when the bombs fell, and the survivors would find refuge in these vaults. There, these shelters, these vaults would survive for the people and carry on, waiting for the all-clear signal from their masters to repopulate the surface, if they ever get a chance to. And for some, to die in the vaults, never seeing the light of day ever again. It's found that many of these sheltered vaults were actually control tests. Each test would be stricken with its population for a particular test and maybe a control group. Some simple tests, maybe appoint someone to die each year, and the entire vault population would be killed if they don't, or they find out too late, of course, and this one time. But, it was a lie all along. All they had to do was not kill each other, or one where the dwellers were all reformed drug addicts, living freely. Then one day, somehow, some reason, a chest of their old drugs, very familiar addictions, would be revealed to them after years and years of sobriety. What would these people do? How would they survive? Or another one where the door would be forced open only 10 years in and too early for the fallout radiation above to not hurt them. It's still there, and maybe it's too early, and they're forced to leave or forced to stay if they can. Another simple vault where it houses the rich and the poor in separate sections of the vault, similar to the silo, the up tops and the bottoms. Whereas only these two sections, the rich and the poor, are separated. How would they survive? Would they choose violence or peace, and under whose rule? Maybe Silo is set up like these vaults with a purpose unknown to its own leaders, maybe just to survive. This silo is quite deep, with 144 levels, sectioned off with the up tops, the mids, and the down deep, which are like the lowest of the low, literally and physically, by altitude, closer to the bottom, literally. And the outside is believed to be radiated, similar to Fallout. But the leadership is hiding something outside, top secret. But once the sheriff's wife is lied to repeatedly and not allowed to have a baby, minor spoiler, she demands to understand the surface, believing it to be safe. It has to be. But doing so means going outside to actually show everyone that it can be safe. And it's a one-way ticket if she fails. This lore seems right at home for the Fallout universe. I truly enjoyed Silo as a standalone episodic thriller. It's perfect. Even with Fallout in mind, it makes it even settle really well into my mind. But stay tuned for Season 3 and hope it holds up, just like the Fallout TV show. Bye for now.